Hello, everyone.
What's up?
Brook Richard here, Antonio Jones, Brody Ben, Trevor Shannahan, Power Calls. We're here from Higdon Outdoors headquarters. We're going to go live. We're going to be answering some questions and doing some segments on the advanced duck calling skills. So we're going to get warmed up a little bit, get the camera right, and we'll get started.
You need your phone up. It's got to be upwards.
You mean like
on these live videos, you can't do it like that.
Why not? You can.
Sideways or some crap.
All right. It's like I can turn my camera around. Why do I do that?
I'm telling you, it's going to come up sideways.
Oh, come up sideways. It's working, right?
It might not come up sideways, but...
All right, we all in the frame? Y'all sit down?
Beard again.
All right,
Brook's
Antonio.
Abe Lincoln beard.
Antonio will be on his phone. He's got to read questions for us, and we'll.
I'm just here to goose call.
Is that good there? I think we're good. All right, so just so y'all know, anybody watching this video, we're going to be giving away this box of decoys. These are Higdon Outdoors, foam filled, blue wing teal. All you have to do is comment Higdon Outdoors in this thread to be entered to win. All right. Let's get over to the right a little bit, Antonio.
I'm good. I got a face for radio.
All right. You're good.
Not that far to the right.
All right. So, advanced duck calling skills. Any questions yet?
No, we don't have it. Here, I'll let you work the
All right, I'll work the phone. So if I'm looking down, I'm just looking at the phone. I'm not texting anybody. Here we go. All right. What's up, Brook? How's it going, Tim? Sit down. I'll let you know how it looks. How we look, Brent?
Ugly.
I want to thank Randy Wheeler for letting us host this on Hardcore Waterfowlers page. Thank you, Randy. I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you this weekend in Katy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so again, this is Antonio Jones. He is with Brody Ben Calls. He's from Arkansas, world champion duck caller. We've got Trevor Shannahan here as well. He's part of Power Calls. He's here working with us at Higdon. We'd like to have him. I'm Brook Richard. I'm with Power Calls as well, and we'll get started. So let's start off. Antonio, what do you think is the next step for people who got a duck call, they spent a year blowing it, and they're looking to make that next step? What is the next step for your average caller to get into an advanced calling?
You know, my rule of thumb and the way I like to call the next step would be, it's almost like, you know, playing golf.
Yeah.
I like short game stuff, and in the world of duck calling, short game stuff is, you know, the real soft, the real being able to hit that decided note, or being able to aggressively feed at ducks instead of actually hitting a greeting call or a lonesome hen to turn ducks.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, so it's when to do it, when not to do it. You know, if you're reading ducks and the duck's swinging like this, and all of a sudden you hit him with a fast bouncing hen, and that didn't turn him, all of a sudden you want to try something else different. Hit him with an aggressive style clucking feed call to try to turn him, and being able to portray all that.
Absolutely. So what we'll do here, we'll get Antonio to do some of those things. Why don't you start him off with a real aggressive cluck and explain what you're actually doing to the call to get that aggressive cluck.
Well, I use a method called crawl, walk, run. Okay, we're gonna crawl on a duck call. Before clucking style feed call would be, I use the term goo goo or cuck cuck, which is goo gives me a deeper sound on my cluck. Turn the call around, it sounds like this. Now, to get a higher pitch sound or a different style, you're still using the back of your throat. I say the word cuck, K-U-K. Cuck, 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 cuck. Okay, now, that was the G, goo, goo, goo. Here's the K-U-K. And I know you guys can hear the difference in here's the KUK. So you start off by crawling, then you speed up, little burst, just a little short burst. Then we're running. Now, with the K, I did. Now I used all G on that one. Now we're going to go back to KUK. Here's back to the G's. You can get even more advanced and mix them up.
And to add on to that, like on your low one where you're going goo, I always like to end with a K because it gets it sharper at the end. So I'd be like gook 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 or cuck 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 cuck. For the higher one, it's cuck cuck cuck, but it's gook 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 gook. Yeah, just with the K at the end, just to get it sharper. So. I mean, I just always end it with either a T or a K just so it's sharp at the end.
Here, all three of us do it. Okay, go ahead. You hit it, you start first. All right. Let's see. So I guess what would be next? Drink water fountain, sins of hell call. Thank you, Ryan. Thanks for tuning in. So in addition to that, you know, you got your hard feed, and we all like to substitute a lot of that for what people would think basic duck calling, your average. You know, that is a common tool that everybody uses, and it's a necessity to have, but I like to substitute hard feeds, a lot of different ducks in place of that. And I know the comment came up, how do I call that stale ducks? How do I call that ducks that don't want to work, that circle 3 or 4 times? That's just it. You know, advanced duck calling is structured at that. You know, everybody with a duck call can go. So advanced duck calling, its place is to do everything really on top of that. So your hard feeding, your bouncing hinge, your whiny ducks, your powerful ducks, being able to give things to ducks that everybody else can't because they're not advanced callers. Not that the other things don't work, I don't want to knock anybody, but taking that next step to really up your game in duck calling, just like golf, you know, practice, 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 you've got more tools in your bag to throw at these birds.
You know, obviously I sell duck calls for a living, so I want to say, you know, man, we could do all this different stuff, but in hunting situations, sometimes less is more. The less things you do at the right time has been effective for me.
Absolutely.
So, yes, can we show you little light notes where everybody's going, you know, at the ducks or doing a different feed? Can we show you some different light stuff that you can do when the birds are, say, within 100 yards that will actually get them to finish and turn? Absolutely. Little light stuff. That's not so intrusive.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, like I said, you're from Louisiana.
Yep.
By the time they get to us,
yep,
or even with you, Trevor, on geese, you know, people hunting, you know, in Maryland, as hard as hunting those birds of pressure, less is more.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I mean, honestly, I probably call less than anybody I've ever hunted with. And I call less than, I mean, just the average guy, the contest caller, I call less than them. But when I'm doing it, I'm not begging them to come, I'm telling them to come. When I hit a hen, it's not. When I do hit a hen, it's a. Just a demanding hen. Hey, get your butt back over here.
Right,
you know, and I might only do it every 30, 40 seconds, and just hit one hen, hit them on the corners. When they get out 50, 60 yards, and they break like their necks to come back to that, because you're not asking them to come, you're telling them to come back.
Right.
And I mean, that's my philosophy. It's not necessarily, it's not calling a lot, but it's when you do call, you hit them at the right times and you hit them with power. You don't necessarily hit them with finesse. And that's anywhere I've hunted, I've had way more success doing that than just babying them. And then, I mean, when they're coming in tight, unless they're not coming directly to the kill hole, I mean, I won't feed, I won't do anything. I'll just sit there and let them go, let them go, let them go, let them go. If they start to slide off, I'll just hit them with a and it usually centers them back up for the shot. But honestly, I mean, I think too many people just feed a lot or do a lot of babying on the hens to finish them when.
Well,
Corey called in.
That light stuff, a lot of times that I'm hunting, and the reason why I say hit that light stuff that's there is, say you're in your pit and we're here, and the ducks are swinging, and they're swinging just outside, and you got the wind coming at a crossways, kind of at an angle like this, and all of a sudden that duck's 30 yards from you. 30 yards from you going back towards this way, but he's at enough of an angle going this way that you can, and the wind's going that way, and he's coming across you, okay? And you can hit him, and all of a sudden they freeze and stop. When he freezes and stops and turns around, he's already 30 yards, swinging around and coming. You hit him with that light stuff, that's all it takes, and he just folds up and throws his hand back.
Absolutely.
So that's what I mean by the top and the bottom. Yes, we all like to have an aggressive sound, an aggressive, style, and it works for different stuff. But, on those calm days, I have found that this is, especially in the short game, and finishing ducks. I mean, finishing them. Not shooting ducks at 30 yards or 40 yards or 50 yards. I'm talking feet. I like to shoot them at feet. You know what I'm saying? Feet.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
That's when you hit them with that little, when they're close.
That's not the pop, pop, pop.
Oh, I'm known for the pop, 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 baby. But we ain't, just finishing those birds with the light stuff.
I like it.
Short game.
So, bouncing hen. What do you say into the call to get a bouncing hen? A crisp bouncing hen. Alan?
Quack tick.
Quack tick.
Basically quack. It's basically a quack with what he was saying in between, where you're just doing it, but exaggerating that what your feed call would be, and it's just instead of going, it's, and you can almost use tick to get it to have that more squeal to it, or you can use cook to have it be a little flatter, where it's like, or you go, and it's just you're doing your same hen cadence, but you're putting that, it's basically one feeding cut in between every bouncing hen, and honestly that's why you can blend it into your cut and feed to make it sound cool, like it's a hen in the feed. It's just, but
the terms I use on doing a bouncing hen would be get to get to get. Get to get to get to get. Or if you want it deeper, go goo to goo to goo. Or who to who to who. And you turn it around and it goes like this.
Let's see. Anybody else have any questions? See a lot of Higdon Outdoors. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Good to see you, Mr. Randy. Thanks for tuning in. What call do you guys like to use on spooky refuge ducks? Joshua, Keith, what calls or what sounds? I know Antonio blows Brody Ben calls. Trevor and I blow power calls. Sounds do we like to make on spooky refuge ducks? Best time, be where they want to be, and don't make much sound. But if you're going to make a sound that they're not used to hearing when they fly over every blind. Like a bouncing hen, a commanding duck, some real soft stuff, single quacks. Best way to feed call. Mark, best way to feed call, ticka, start slow, Work your way into it. Like Antonio said, crawl, walk, run. Start slow and you'll progressively get faster. Is this normal or not working something? Igor, not sure what you're asking.
It's from Russia, ain't it?
Igor, thanks for tuning in from Russia, Igor. Appreciate you. Let's see. Favorite call? One that kills ducks.
I wonder if he's wondering what's our favorite go-to call to use.
Yeah. I think, honestly, the sound I use most when hunting ducks, I like to command ducks. When I see ducks and I want to get their attention and I see them, they pass and work them. And they'll go and they'll get back on the other corner. They'll come in. So really my favorite call, it's very simple. It's just very punctual. And then just working them on the corners, not overdoing it, letting them come in. Every bird's different. Some like to hear it all the way in to finish tight. Some don't want to hear it at all. Really, it's just all about reading the bird.
You know, I think my favorite would be the feed. I mean, I feed them and feed them and feed them.
Yeah, you like the woods a bunch, so you're always in it. You're knocking bark off the trees, you're purling on them.
Yeah, we're trying to keep the ducks enticed on us, so we stay on them pretty hard with the feed. Now, if they go downwind from us, then, you know, after they go downwind and come back and set up with the wind, we bag off of them a little bit.
Absolutely. Jordan, we have a bunch of new products coming out this year for Higdon. Go to HigdonDecoys.com, I'm sorry, and check it out. We've got a tab on there that'll show you all the new products. I know Antonio's got some new calls coming out. He just released, which one was it?
Yeah, we just released the Savage, which was this year. And then we got a new call we're going to market, and you'll see all our pro staff blowing it all, you know, contest season long, and we'll be hunting with it. But it won't be ready till the next year. And let me tell you, it's a bad. I mean, it's niche.
This guy's got a good name, Brody Tuttle. Brody, it's a good name.
Yeah, what's up, Brody Tuttle?
It's good.
I seen Kevin Taylor joined in. What's up, Kevin Taylor? He's from my hometown.
Double reed or single reed? Pros and cons to both. I like single reeds. They have a little bit more range to them. Different strokes for different folks. If I were going to buy a duck call tomorrow, it would be a single reed.
Double reeds are generally, the pro to them is they're a little more user friendly. They're more forgiving to putting too much air in, and they let you get a little bit, a raspier without having to put it into the call.
I have to stop there. Most of the time, double reeds for me, I didn't like it. And people ask me all the time, Antonio, why'd you come out with a double reed for your first call at Pearl and Hen?
Yeah.
Well, I like to have a double reed that people, obviously we're in a call business, so we sell a lot more double reeds, but I didn't want it to have that sound of a double reed, that you hear the two reeds, that as far as the sound quality, you can hear the two reeds. I wanted it to sound like a single reed, but also drive like the ease of operation of a double reed. Absolutely. Now this is my double reed, right? This is Pearl and Hen. And you cannot tell that there's two reeds flapping. I wanted to be able to have in a call that drove like a single reed. There you go. There's a prototype double right there.
Oh, that's a good call. There's a prototype double right there.
Yeah, you guys are on the same page as we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
That's easy. That'll probably be our best selling call right there.
So really, all of us we all like the sound of single reed calls. So uniquely, we've taken what we know as a double reed, we've put our spin on it, and we've really come out with a call that is both user friendly and has a little bit more range than your typical double reed.
Now we know we're gonna have the guys that's gonna say, I don't need training wheels or whatever, but these calls, these double reeds that you know, power calls and Brody Ben are making are going to be.
I mean, yeah, I mean, and there's several other companies that make a good sounding double read, and honestly, the pro of it is for the average guy who doesn't sit there and put in the countless hours of practice that we do. He can pick that call up, and he can sit there and just go. Really, I mean, I'm putting no voice into that call. I mean, that's just straight air, forward pressure, putting air into a call the exact wrong way, and it's still getting a duck sound to it. Put it in with an open throat, bringing it up from your diaphragm like you're supposed to. A little high tone there, but no, so, you know, traditionally double reeds have always been very easy to use. And in the past, I'd say 5 years or so, you know, people have gotten to where they're starting to get close to the range of single reeds. But the pro to a double reed is it's always going to be more user-friendly and easier to use.
Let's see. Colby Fitch wants to know, show us transition from calling loud in a routine to getting to the low end. So that transition phase, and this is usable in the field as well. When you're just hitting them, you're just hoping that these birds break, and then you break them. And then what do? So you're hitting them hard, and then they turn. Now what's next? Well, you let them come. And you bump them in. So whether you're on the contest stage or you're in the field, you're hitting them hard, and you work into that. So from the top end to the bottom. They're breaking down the early trees, and then you just steer them in.
I know, just in hunting situations alone, I go after, and you do, Brook, we've hunted together a bunch.
Yep.
We go after ducks that normal people would look at, and a lot of guys in Arkansas and all over go after those high bunches of ducks. So when we say, you know, yeah, we hit them. Yes, it's loud and it's obnoxious, but really, the ducks only hear 1 or 2 notes of that because they're so far off. And then so we stay on them aggressively. I mean, hammer them. I mean, all you got until you get them, and then you got to back off of them. That's why, you know, we like to call it the short game.
Absolutely. So I hope that answered your question, Colby. The Three Stooges. Thank you, Andrew. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Welcome, Colby.
What up, Andrew?
Mr. Brook, y'all looking snazzy. I guess I should be doing similar, though. Looking for one of them Brody Ben calls, Antonio. When are you going to break the spec call out? Maybe in the future.
Stu's wicked on the spec call. I'm just going to tell you right now.
I was saying.
Lear.
Oh, I appreciate that. I don't know.
Tuesday.
Favorite spot, timber field, sloughs. Honestly, I like the fields because I can shoot specs. I like killing ducks in the woods. If I'm not in the field shooting specs, I'd like to be my friend shooting mallards in the woods. I know Antonio likes the woods. I don't know where Trevor likes to
I
be.
like flooded corn impoundments because I can shoot geese, ducks, whatever.
Yankee sport. Let's see. Higdon Outdoors. Love it. Jefferson Talbot. What's up, Duck Man?
What's happening?
Hunter Knight. Hello. Thanks for tuning in, Buster. Break out the spec call. Let's see. Does anybody have any duck call related questions? Why is single reed so much harder to blow? Or at least it is for me. Brody, I'm not sure what call you're blowing, but it is different. If you grew up learning how to blow a double reed and you get a single reed and try to blow it, it is different. But you can learn how to do it. It's just different air presentation. You can't lean on the call as much as you would a double reed because you have to. It forces you to actually put it into the call. But once you learn to put the right air into the call, doors will open for you, and you'll be able to get a lot more out of the call.
I think a lot of guys have, when they go to buy a call off a chef or go to blow a call the first time, and especially if you're in front of a lot of people, a lot of guys tend to overblow it. You know, as in put in too much air in front of it, and then they go, oh, well, this call's squilling out on me.
Yeah.
Well, in all actuality, back off of it a little bit, because you're probably excited, and if you're around a bunch of different folks or whatever, then you're probably amped up and you're actually overblowing it. Now, if you know how to tune your own call, or if you're there with a representative of that company, or know somebody that can, just have them set your call a little harder to blow.
Yep.
That way you're not overblowing.
Absolutely. Nathan Key, what's the best way to improve your calling? Recording yourself, calling with others, etc. Best way to get better on your calling? If whatever you're doing is killing ducks, keep doing it. Personally, I like to record myself. I listen to myself probably daily, really. I blow my duck call, listen to myself blowing it, and I pick up on things I'm doing wrong or that I want to improve on, and I record myself trying to do it better. Record yourself and you're good.
Wild Duck, what's up?
What's the best way for cadence improvement? Old Butch used to say 3 blind mice quack quack. It's a basic system. It really is just a staircase. Quack 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 quack. 3 blind mice quack quack. And really just all goes from there. The harder you start the first note, the longer that string will be. So it's just write it down, staircase it. Opinions on cut down calls. Out of my department. Average practice time per day, week. During hunting season, about 3 hours a day, 60 days a year during hunting season.
What kind of opinions on cut down calls? Like
just a general opinion on cut down. Do they work? In the woods, I know they do. They definitely do.
How about showing each of your different styles on drag quacks? Afternoon from East Tennessee. Drag quacks, I'm assuming you're talking about
in the feed. In this feed.
I like to punch mine in there. Mine are a little bit longer than what a lot of people would consider normal. Slay Dog, thanks for tuning in.
Slay Dog.
Slay Dog.
I mean, I feel like we all kind of hit our drag quacks about the same, where we actually hit instead of just going duh, we, in the middle of our feed, we actually hit a quack, and it's just, instead of just going,
it's still, he's still pronunciating in it. Whatever. You shorten it up if you like.
oh, hit yours.
Shelby, competition feed.
Turn the call around, it sounds like this.
Shelby, can't keep it together when you're trying to do drag notes in your feed. It's all muscle memory. Start slow. I mean, really.
Crawl, walk, run.
I do the same thing. I get into my feed and it gets going, and I just want to hit. I want to do this. Really.
Start off slow.
Start off slow. And then as you practice it, you'll get faster and faster.
And don't put that many drag quacks in. Honestly, in a contest feed, you really don't want any more than maybe 4 or 5 drags in any, in your first or your second feed.
Do you count your drag? Do you count them?
Mine's at like 5 or 6.
I never even count.
I don't count. I count them when I listen back and record them. Yeah. It's so ingrained in my head with my routine. It's just.
That's kind of like knowing your sleep number. I don't know my sleep number.
35.
Are you talking about how to clean up calling? I like to call with earplugs, so that can really help crisp things up and match your routine. Luckily for us, we've got a soundproof room. It really dampens the sound. It sounds like you're calling with earplugs.
It sounds like crap in here.
But
it really does.
I've done it. I've put on headphones doing it, and whenever you think you're sounding bad, I like to just cover one ear or cover both ears, and really you're not worried about what sound you're making. You're worried about the correct mechanics.
It makes you feel the call more than actually listen for it.
And when you're getting a good broad full tone, I always tell people, you'll feel it. That's like Trevor just said. You'll feel the broadness of the call, of the tone, and actually in the call too.
Well, think about all the time we've got for today. Trevor's got to get on the road. We're all headed down to Katy, Texas for Randy Wheeler and James Prince's contest over in Katy, Texas for the World Spec World Snow Team Real Duck contest. So we've got to get out of here. Thank you all for tuning in. We're going to look at all the posts. We're going to find the winner of that box, let Randy know, and he's going to announce who the winner is. Thank y'all all for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
If you're in Texas, come by Bass Pro and see us.
Absolutely.
We'll be there. Pearland.
Y'all have a good weekend.
I gotta go to the gym before I head to this.
All right. That's